Welcome to Learning Radius. Welcome to Learning Radius Current Affairs 2021. In this video, we'll be discussing the last 8 topics of environment ecology, and we'll be completing the series of environment ecology 2020-21 in this particular video. With this particular video, so the topic of discussions are dolphin booms in Odisha Chilika Lake, Paris Pact goal, net zero, Jeevan Mission, Born Alls, BIS draft standard for drinking water supply, Forest Ministry releases guide to managing human-elephant conflict, Mumbai maps its biodiversity image. So first topic of discussion is dolphin boom in Odisha's Chilika Lake. The population of dolphins in Chilika, India's largest brackish water lake and along the Odisha coast has doubled. The Wildlife Wing of the State Forest and Environment Department released the final data on the dolphin census, indicating a spectacular growth in numbers. Divided into 41 units, wildlife activists, academicians, forest department officials, NGO members, boat operators and researchers from Bombay Natural History Society, Mumbai, participate in the estimation exercise. So here again, dolphin as it is in discussion and Chilika Lake is also in discussion. So in the earlier video, I discussed in detail about Indus and Ganges dolphin, and here dolphin boom in Odisha's Chilika Lake, that is the discussion about. The population of dolphin in Chilika, India's largest brackish water lake and along the Odisha coast has doubled, that is the discussion. The population estimated exercise for dolphin and other cetacean species covered almost the entire coast of Odisha. 3 species were recorded during the census, with 544 Airavati bottlenose and humpback dolphin were cited. So here Airavati bottlenose and humpback dolphin were cited. Apart from Chilika, 39 Airavati dolphins were cited in the Rajnagar mangrove division. The highest growth has been noticed in the case of humpback dolphin. So that is the discussion about. Next one is Paris Pact goal. According to a new study published in the journal Biological Conservation, many animals and plants unique to the world's most scenic natural place face extinction if greenhouse gas emission continue to rise. So that is something very significant in connection with the Paris Agreement, at the same time related with environment ecology. According to a new study published in the journal Biological Conservation, many animals and plants unique to the world's most scenic natural places face extinction if greenhouse gas emission continue to rise. Climate change will negatively affect most native and endemic species, those that are only found in very specific places. In particular, the analysis shows that all endemic species from islands and more than 4 out of 5 endemic species from mountains are at high risk of extinction due to climate change alone. However, remaining within the climate goals of the Paris Agreement, which aims to keep global heating well below 2 degrees Celsius at 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to a baseline, would save the majority of species. So what's the base of Paris Climate Agreement should be very clear. In particular, the analysis shows that all endemic species from islands and more than 4 out of 5 endemic species from mountains are at high risk of extinction due to climate change alone. However, remaining within the climate goals of the Paris Agreement, which aims to keep global heating below 2 degrees Celsius, ideally at 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to a baseline, would save the majority of species. Key finding of the report: a global team of scientists analyzed almost 300 biodiversity hotspots places with exceptionally high number of animals and plant species on land and at sea. Many of these hotspots contain endemic species that are unique to one geographic location. So that's in detail the discussion as it is more on Paris Agreement and the threat over the endemic species. So according to a new study published in the journal Biological Conservation, many animals and plants unique to the world's most scenic natural place face extinction if greenhouse gas emission continue to rise. And once again, in detail, we have discussed what is Paris Agreement. So Paris Agreement is a legally binding international treaty on climate change. It was adopted by 196 parties of COP21 in Paris on 12 December 2015 and entered into force on 4th November 2016. Its goal is to limit global warming to well below 2, preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial level. So that's all about the Paris Agreement's fundamental, and you should have more clarity regarding Paris Agreement, which I conveyed to you before in the earlier videos, and read more on Paris Agreement, the basic fundamentals. Next is net zero. John Kerry, the US President's special envoy on climate, visit to India, trying to rekindle a climate change partnership that had been all but put on hold during the 4 years of Donald Trump administration. The immediate purpose of the visit is to exchange notes ahead of the virtual climate leaders summit convened by the US President Joe Biden. So John Kerry, the US President's special envoy on climate visit to India, that is John Kerry, the US President's special envoy on climate visit to India, trying to rekindle a climate change partnership that had been all put on hold during the 4 years of the Donald Trump administration. So again, back to discussion between United States of America and India in connection with climate change issues. The immediate purpose of the visit is to exchange notes ahead of the virtual climate leaders summit convened by United States President Joe Biden. This is Biden's first big international intervention in climate change, and his administration would be keen to ensure a substantial outcome from it. In its bid to reclaim the global climate leadership, the US is widely expected to commit itself to a net zero emission target for 2050 at the summit. Several other countries, including UK and France, has already enacted laws promising to achieve a net zero emission scenario by middle of the century. The European Union is working a similar Europe-wide law, while many other countries, including Canada, South Korea, Japan, and Germany, have expressed their intention to commit themselves to a net zero future. Even China has promised to go net zero by 2060. India, the world's third biggest emitter of greenhouse gases after the US and China, is the only major player holding out. That's a significant discussion out. So net zero is in discussion, and United States of America is back to India again in connection with the climate change discussion. During the Joe Biden rule, we have more positive discussion in connection with net zero. So net zero, which is also referred to as carbon neutrality, does not mean that a country would bring down its emission to zero. Rather, net zero is a state in which a country's emissions are compensated by absorption and removal of greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. Absorption of the emission can be increased by creating more carbon sinks, such as forests, while removal of gases from the atmosphere requires futuristic technologies such as carbon capture and storage. So what is net zero goal? Net zero, which is also referred to as carbon neutrality. So net zero and carbon neutrality is the same, which is net zero, which is also referred to as carbon neutrality, does not mean that a country would bring down its emission to zero. Rather, net zero is a state in which a country's emissions are compensated by absorption and removal of greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. Absorption of the emission can be increased by creating more carbon sinks such as forests, while removal of gases from the atmosphere require futuristic technologies such as carbon capture and storage. Next topic of discussion is Jal Jeevan Mission. To monitor the rural drinking water supply system in villages, the Ministry of Jal Shakti has decided to take the digital route to use sensor-based IoT devices to effectively monitor the implementation of Jal Jeevan Mission in more than 6 lakh villages. So here the discussion is to take the digital route to use sensor-based IoT devices to effectively monitor the implementation of Jal Jeevan Mission in more than 6 lakh villages. So for this, the National Jal Jeevan Mission, in collaboration with Tata Community Initiative Trust and Tata Trust, recently completed pilot projects in several remote villages to 5 states, that is Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Himachal Pradesh. A key feature of these pilots have been the use of frugal yet sturdy sensors, which makes the solution scalable and sustainable. So that's about the National Jal Jeevan Mission in collaboration with Tata Community Initiative Trust and Tata Trust, recently completed pilot projects in several remote villages of 5 states, that is Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Himachal Pradesh. Now, what is IoT? We know Internet of Things based remote monitoring providers near real-time information without any manual intervention by using sensors. So Internet of Things, UPSC asked Internet of Things before. What is Internet of Things? Basic application. That was a question in 2019, you can see. The Internet of Things based remote monitoring providers near real-time information without any manual intervention by using sensors. This would not only allow effective monitoring and management on ground, but also enable real-time visibility to state water supply, PHED officials, and citizens. Now the next discussion, what is Jal Jeevan Mission? We know Jal Jeevan Mission, Union Government's flagship program, which is implemented in partnership with state and UTs to provide tap water connection to every rural household by 2024, envisions creating a digital wall and remote command and control center for monitoring and managing supply of prescribed quality water in adequate quantity every day through household tap connections across all rural villages. So that's about Jal Jeevan Mission. And next one is Born Alls. The Lakshadweep administration had embarked on the pilot project on biological control of rodents by using born holes in Kavaratti Island after studies revealed the shocking extent of damage caused by rats to the iron coconut yield and economy. So the Lakshadweep administration has embarked on the pilot project on biological controls of rodents. So biological controls of rodents is rats by using born holes, that is by Toto Alba. So Toto or Taito Alba is in news. UPSC can ask a question in that particular manner. So controlling the rat by alls, that's basic. So pilot project on biological control of rodents by using born alls, that is Taito Alba, in Kavaratti Islands after studies reveal the shocking extent of damage caused by rats to the island's coconut yield and economy. The born owl is the most widespread land bird species in the world, occurring in every continent except Antarctica. They are one of the most widespread owl in the Indian subcontinent. These owls are medium sized with long legs and wings and have a relatively shorter tail when compared to other similar sized owl. Born owl exhibit dark eye and a distinct heart-shaped facial disc, and IUCN status of this born owl as it is least concern. So here Lakshadweep has embarked on the pilot project on biological control of rodent by using born holes, that's in discussion. Next is BIS, that is Bureau of Indian Standard. Draft standard for drinking water supply. Bureau of Indian Standard has prepared a draft standard for the supply system of piped drinking water and has invited comments from water utilities including Delhi Jal Board on it. Label drinking water supply quality management system. Requirement for piped drinking water supply service. The draft has been prepared by BIS Public Drinking Water Supply Services Sectional Committee. So BIS draft standard for drinking water supply. The Bureau of Indian Standard has prepared a draft standard for the supply system of piped drinking water and has invited comments from water utilities including Delhi Jal Board on it. The label drinking water supply quality management system requirement for piped drinking water supply service. The draft has been prepared by the BIS Public Drinking Water Supply Service Sectional Committee. So it outlines the process of water supply from raw water sources to household tap and has been developed keeping in view the center's Jal Jeevan Mission for providing safe and adequate drinking water to all rural households by 2024 through tap connection. At present, the standard is not expected to be made mandatory. After the draft is notified, states or water utilities planning to implement the standard can approach BIS for a license. So the Bureau of Indian Standard has prepared a draft standard for the supply system of piped drinking water and has invited comments from water utilities including Delhi Jal Board. So Jal Jeevan Mission, I told what's the relevance. Label drinking water supply quality management system. Requirement for piped drinking water supply service. The draft has been prepared by the BIS Public Drinking Water Supply Services Sectional Committee. So again, a very significant step in connection with drinking water supply, and Jal Jeevan Mission is in this discussion. I told what is the relevance of Jal Jeevan Mission as such. Next topic of discussion is Forest Ministry release guide to managing human-elephant conflict. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has compiled the best practices of human-elephant conflict management in India. Retaining elephant in their natural habitats by creating water sources and management of forest fires include elephant-proof trenches in Tamil Nadu, hanging fences and rubble walls in Karnataka, use of chili smoke in North Bengal, playing the sound of bears or carnivores in Assam, and elephant corridors initiatives worth 25.37 hectares of private land and was purchased at Edarahalli, Dudasamki in Karnataka as part of conservation effort. The document details the process of individual identification and monitoring of elephant in South Bengal. Other ideas include sending SMS alert to warn on elephant presence. So it is something very interesting, and in all, especially in South India, in local newspapers, you will come across with lot of damage by the elephant encroaching the normal land area or the common households as such. So the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has compiled best practices of human-elephant conflict management in India. And some activities are very interesting. Retaining elephants in their natural habitat by creating water sources and management of forest fires. So managing the forest fires and giving good water to elephant at their location itself. Another one is include elephant-proof trenches in Tamil Nadu, hanging fences and rubble walls in Karnataka, use chili smoke in North Bengal, playing the sound of bears or carnivores in Assam, and using SMS alert as such. And the final topic of discussion is Mumbai maps its biodiversity image. In a first of its kind attempt to visually empower Mumbai citizens with the resource, they share the city with a biodiversity map of the city to showcase the wildlife hotspots, mangrove forests, urban green space, and over 90 species that can be spotted in the city has been illustrated. Rohan Chakravarti, popularly known for his work under the title of Green Humor, is the man behind the map. It will serve as a reminder of Mumbaikars that they must act to protect Mumbai's biodiversity, which has been under threat due to sustainable development. So Mumbai map is biodiversity image so in a first of its kind attempt to visually empower Mumbai citizens with the resource, they share the city with a biodiversity map of the city to showcase the wildlife hotspots, mangrove forests, urban green space, and over 90 species that can be spotted in the city has been illustrated. So it's a relevant data, and at the same time it's an eye-opening to the entire country how we are supposed to conserve the environment locations and how significant as such. So that's all from this particular video, and we have discussed 128 topics in connection with environment ecology, and that's all right from environment ecology in this particular series. And watch all the videos carefully, and at the same time listen to analysis video, then only you will understand 2020 environment ecology analysis and all analysis right from national, international, economy, science and technology, and environment ecology. So when you watch all this, you will understand how UPSC is framing questions from current affairs, how they relate the questions to current affairs, and how they mold beautiful, unique questions in UPSC preliminary examination. So understand that, then watch all this video and have an extra grip by working on premium preliminary question papers. And all this discussion in Word file will be available for those who purchase the premium preliminary question papers. It's already sent from Learning Ready's office. So have a great study, take an extra edge in the overall preparation, and meet you in the next series with economic and social development. We'll be doing in the same manner 10 videos, and it gives you an extra edge. And economic and social development will be available in the YouTube in the same manner itself. So have a great time. Calm version is the most productive version. Use your calmness to get extra edge in your overall preparation. Have a great time. Be cool and study. Thank you. Thank you all.